If you are a YouTube content creator, then definitely you have seen this feature. YouTube, they do provide a specific section where you can add different tags for your video for better SEO. So in this video, I'm going to show you how can you add the same functionality. Let's look at it. So as you can see, you can add the different tags, but I have given there some restrictions. You won't be able to add more than 6 tags, and we can remove all the tags by pressing that cross icon, and also you can copy all those tags by pressing that clone icon. Similarly, you can remove that tags one at a time. So the most important highlighted feature is that whenever you are giving tags, if you press enter or comma key, then it will add the tags. And also if you paste the value that is separated by comma at the same time, then you will be able to create multiple tags. And also whenever you are adding and removing all those tags, they all are reflected in the form of numbers as well. Without further ado, let's start. Hello and namaste everyone, this is Jitsaru with Coding Design. Welcome to our channel. If you are new here, please be sure to hit that subscribe button. In the index.html file, you can see a basic HTML code. For the title, I am giving 8 tags input box with HTML, CSS and JavaScript. Now inside the body tag, let's create div with class name card, and inside that div let's create another div with class name card header. Next to that card header, let's create another div with class name card body, and next to that let's create another div with class name card footer. So if you have no any idea like what is going on, this is what you call email abbreviation. I have already created this separate video on this topic, so at top right corner in iCard you can check out the video, and also I'll leave the video's link in the description below. Inside the div with class name card header, I'm giving h1 heading. Inside that I'm giving image tag with source images / tags.svg. So in the same folder you can see I have folder name images, and inside that folder we have 2 images, clone.svg and tags.svg, and let's write their tags. Next to that h1 heading, let's create div, and inside that I am creating span tag with class name tooltip, and also let's give the class name copy. Inside that is span, I am creating image tag, and let's give the source images / clone.svg. Okay, these are the icons. For span tag, let's give title attribute. I'm writing copy all tags, and let's duplicate this code. Now let's change that class copy to remove all tags, and also let's change that title as well. Okay, and let's remove that image tag. Instead of that, we'll give HTML entity ampersand times, so that will give me cross icon. Now with the help of live server extension, let's open this index.html file in our default browser. Okay, as you can see, this is the output. Now inside the div with class name card body, before that let's adjust this screens, and let's create paragraph tag. Let's give this mic icon, and I'm writing use comma or press enter. To separate each tags. So in the browser you can see. And next to that, let's create div with class name tags. And inside that div, let's create span tag with class name tag. Inside that, I'm writing user, and I'm creating span tag with class name remove tag, and let's give the same HTML entity, that cross symbol. Okay, next to that, let's create input element with type text, and also let's give the placeholder. For the placeholder, I'm giving 8 tags. Now for the div with class name card footer, let's give span tag with class name current tag, and let's give the 1, and I'm writing slash, and let's create another span tag with class name max tags, and let's give the 06. So this is what I exactly want. You can see I have already created style.css file. Inside the style.css file, for the root pseudo class, I have declared there some color variables, primary, secondary and bg variable, and that color bg variable I have given for that body tag. And for the universal selector, in order to prevent the browser's default behavior, I have given this code. Now let's link our style.css file. Just below the title tag, let's give link for our style.css file. In the browser, we can see that huge icons. First of all, let's adjust these icons height and width. So for the image, let's give the height and width of 1.5 rem. Now you can see that is small icons. For the div with class name card, let's give the width of 50 VW. For the height, I'm giving 20 rem. And for the background color, let's give that white color. And also let's give border radius of 0.8 rem. Now you can see that rounded corner around the white box. Let's bring this white box exactly at the center of your browser. So for the body tag, let's give the display flex. In order to bring that content horizontally center, I'm giving justify content to center, and for vertical center, I'm giving align items to center. So now you can see this white box is exactly at the center of your browser. Now for the class card, I'm again giving display flex direction to column, and let's give justify content to space between. Now you can see these contents are equally distributed. Now for the class card header, card body and card footer, I'm giving the same common CSS property. Let's give padding top and bottom to 0.6 rem, and for the left and right I'm giving 1 rem. Now for the class card header, let's give width of 100%. For the background color, I am giving primary variable. But if you have noticed there is some problem. You can see that rounded corners around that white box that is hidden. So in order to solve that problem, for the class card header, let's give border radius. For the top left and right, I am giving 0.8 rem, and for the bottom left and right, I am giving 0. And also I am giving display flex, justify content to space between, and align items to center. Now you can see these tag icons and that tag text, they are not aligned properly. So for that tag icon, let's keep the vertical aligned to middle. And also for that h1 heading, let's give the font weight of 600, font size to 1.6 rem, and for the font family, let's give sans serif. Now for the span with class name, copy and remove all tags, these two, okay. So for that both icons, let's give the font width of 400, font size to 2 rem, and for the font family, let's give sans serif. And also I'm giving cursor to pointer. Similarly, let's give margin left 1 rem. Okay, there is more gap, so I think I have to change to 0.5 rem. Yeah, this is perfect. Now when you hover that cross and clone icon, I want to show some tooltips. As you can see, we have already given the class tooltips for both icons. So now I'm copying and pasting these codes. Why I am doing this? Because last week I have already created the video on tooltips and I have discussed there detailedly about how you can create the basic as well as advanced tooltips. And now you can see for the class tooltip, I have given their position of relative, and for the class tooltip, I have given their before and after pseudo elements. And with the help of this code, we are bringing that before and after pseudo elements exactly at the center of the class tooltip. And initially we have given the opacity of 0, and when you hover that class tooltip, we have given the opacity of 1. Similarly, you can see I have changed the opacity and transform value. So in order to give their smooth transition, I have given their transition. Okay, for that before pseudo element, with the help of this code, I'm trying to create triangle shape. And for the after pseudo element, you can see for the content, I have given their attribute function and have passed their title. So that title, that is the attribute that I have already passed. For the span tag in the index.html file, you can see for the both icons I have given their title attribute, so that value will dynamically reflect on this code. In the browser, you can see when I hover, you will get this tooltip. So with the help of that before pseudo element, we are creating that triangle. And at top you can see there delete all tags with some background color, that is the content generated by after pseudo element. This is how you create the tooltips. Now let's style div with class name card body. For class card body, let's give width and height of 100%. And now let's style that paragraph tag. Let's give the margin top to 0.4 rem. For left and right I'm giving 0, and for bottom I'm giving 1 rem. So now you can see there is proper space between that input field and that paragraph tag. And also now for the class tags, let's give width of 100%. And let's give the border. Okay, that's not bordered bottom, that's border. I'm giving padding of 1 rem. And also let's give border radius of 0.5 rem. Now let's style that span with class name tag. For the class tag, let's give the display inline block, and I'm giving background color to that primary variable. Let's give padding. For the padding, top right and bottom I'm giving 0.4 rem, and for padding left I'm giving 1 rem. Similarly, let's give the margin of 0.4 rem. Okay, so now if I duplicate this value, you can see there is proper space between that tags. Okay, similarly, let's give the border radius of 2 rem. Now it's time to style that cross icon. Okay, so you can see there I have given class remove tag. So for the class remove tag, let's give display inline block. I'm giving width and height of 1.4 rem. For the background color, let's give that secondary color, and I'm giving color to white color, and let's give border radius of 50%. And for the margin left, I'm giving 0.5 rem. In order to bring that cross icon exactly at the center of that green circle, first of all, let's give text align to center. And if I give line height of 1.4 rem, so that is the same value that we have given for the height. So now you can see with the help of this code, we can bring that cross icon exactly at the center. And also let's give cursor to pointer. So now when you hover, you will get that pointing hand icon. Now let's style this div with class name card footer and input element with type text. So first of all, for the input element, let's give the padding of 1 rem. For the font width, 400, font size to 1.1 rem, and for the font family, let's give sans serif. So now if I type, you can see a bit big letters. Okay. Similarly, let's give border to none and also outline none. For the background color, let's give that transparent color. If I duplicate this code, so you can see there's some problem. So to resolve that problem, for the class tags, if I give overflow y to auto, okay, not for the class tag, I have to give for the class card body. If I give that overflow y to auto, now you can see that problem is solved. Now for the class card footer, let's give the width of 100%, and also I'm giving display flex, justify content to flex, and instead of this code, you could give text align to right, which would be better. And also let's give font weight 400, font size to 1.1 rem, and for the font family, let's give sans serif. So I'm giving letter spacing of 0.2 rem. This was all about HTML and CSS code. It's time to add JavaScript code. So now let's create a script.js file. Just above the end of body tag, let's create a script tag and let's give the source script.js file. In the script.js file, we'll select this input element with type text, and also we'll select this toSpan tag with class name, remove all tags, and that copy. So first of all, by pressing F11 key, let's take it to the full screen. And in the script.js file, I'm creating constant variable tag typer, and I'm assigning document.querySelector. And I'm giving tags input. Okay, there should be dot because we are selecting class tag, and with the help of comma, I'm selecting that toSpan tag with class name copy and remove all tags. Let's save the file. Let's create another variable max tags, and I'm assigning 6. So in the index.html file, you can see I have given the span tag with class name max tags, and I have given the 06. That was the value that I have given manually, but with the help of JavaScript code, let's make it dynamic. I'm writing document.querySelector. Let's select that class max tags, and let's give inner text. I'm assigning that string 0, and I'm concatenating with that max tags variable. Now if I remove this code, and in the browser you can see, although I have removed that 06 from the index.html file, you can see that 06. And also let's create another variable tags, and I'm assigning array with different value. For now I'm adding these different value inside that array, but later on whenever you are typing any text inside that input field, we will dynamically add the value inside this array. So now when you click clone icon, so that should copy the tags that you have entered. Okay, so in order to perform that operation, for the copy, let's give dot on click. So when you click that copy icon, I'm assigning arrow function, and inside that let's give condition. I'm giving if tags.length that is greater than 0 at the time. First of all, let's console.log. I'm writing tags.join, and I'm giving comma. So with the help of this code, we are converting that tags array to a string, and we are concatenating all those value of array by comma. In the browser, if I press F12 key and let's go to the console tab, now whenever I'm clicking that copy icon in the console, you can see all the arrays value separated by comma, and this value they are string. Okay, so now instead of that console.log, let's use the clipboard API. Okay, so if I write navigator.clipboard.write text, so with the help of this code, now you can copy value that is stored inside that array to your clipboard. So once again, if I change that value of array to PHP, and once again if I click that copy icon, and if I paste Did you see that? We did copy the text to our clipboard. Similarly, when you press that copy icon, I want to change that title attributes value, something like copied. So for that, I'm writing copy dot set attribute. So we are changing that title attributes value to copied. So in the browser, you can see when I'm clicking that copy icon, copy all text change into copied. Now what I want to do is that after 2 seconds, that copy text that should change back into the original text. So for that, let's use the set timeout method, and with the help of this method, you can give the timeout which takes in millisecond. So I'm giving 2000, that means 2 seconds. After that 2 seconds, this code will execute. So let's copy this code, and instead of that copy, let's give copy all text. Now once again, if I click that copy icon, you can see that original text change into copied, and after 2 seconds, it will change back to that original text. So this is exactly what I want. Now let's copy this remove all text variable. Now when you click that cross icon, I'm assigning arrow function. First of all, let's duplicate these codes, and now we have to select all these span tag with class name tag. So for that, I'm writing document.querySelector all. So I'm writing all because I want to select each and every class name of tag, and I'm writing dot for each. So we are iterating each and every span tag with class name tag. So I can write tag arrow function, and I'm writing tag dot remove. So with the help of this code, we are removing each and every span tag with class name tag. So in the browser, you can see we are getting that multiple tags, and if I click that cross icon, you see that each and every tags, they all are removed. But you can see all the tags, they are manually created, so we want it to be dynamic. And also whenever you are adding and removing all those tags, we want to change that numbers. Okay, so for that, first of all, let's create function count tags, and I'm writing document.querySelector. I'm selecting current tag class. So as you can see, for the span, I have given their current tag class, and I'm writing dot inner text is equal to. So we'll take the help of that tags array. I'm writing tags.length, and if I invoke this count tag function, now in the browser you can see there are 4. It's because in the tags array you can see there are 4 values. And also I want to invoke count tag function whenever you are clicking that cross icon. So when you click that cross icon, so that value should also change. Okay, so for that, if I give tags is equal to empty array, that means I'm assigning new value for that tags variable. So once again in the browser, if I click that cross icon, did you see that 4 change into that 0? So now it's time to add another operation. So now when you click that cross icon of that tag, that should remove. Okay, now in the index.html file for the span tag with class name remove tag, if I give on click, so when you click, we are calling remove tag function, and inside that function, let's pass 2 arguments. For the first argument, I'm giving this, and for the second argument, let's pass the same value of that tag. Okay, that is the string. I'm repeating the same operation for that second tag as well, but you can see we haven't created that remove tag function. So let's create function remove tag. For the first argument, let's take it as el element, and for the second argument, let's give target tag, and I'm writing l dot, that means element dot parent element. So you can see l means that is the span with class name remove tag, and its parent is that is span tag with class name tag. So it is referring to that parent element. Okay, and I'm writing dot remove. So now with the help of this code, whenever you are clicking that cross icon, we are removing that parent element, and when you are removing that targeted tag, we're going to call the same count tag function. Now in the browser, if I click that cross icon, did you see that all the tags, they are removed one by one, and that is not reflected in that number? It's because tags, they are created manually. So now it's time to create these tags dynamically whenever you are typing anything in that input text field. So in order to do that, for the variable tag typer, we'll give the add event listener, and we are listening to the key of event. Let's pass the e as event, and I'm giving condition if e.key is equal to enter, or e.key is equal to comma. Okay, that should be double equal to. This is a conditional operator. Okay, so whenever you are pressing enter key or comma key in that input field, then this code should execute. Okay, otherwise they won't be executed. So let's give console.log tag typer.value. So we are accessing the value that we have entered in that input field. Now in the browser, if I type anything and if I hit enter, did you see in the console, whenever I'm typing enter key or the comma key, at that time that console code was executed. So this is exactly what I want. Now instead of that console.log, we'll assign this value for the tag variable, and I'm writing dot replace. So we are using their regular expression. If I type // and G, that represent the global, and inside that if I give /s plus, so we are checking if the value that we have given with the help of input field, if it contains one or more than one white space, then we will replace with only single space. Now if I console.log that tag value, once again in the browser, if I type anything and if I give the multiple white space, so now with the help of this code we are preventing the user from typing multiple white space. Similarly, let's give the another condition. So I'm writing if tag typer.length, if that is greater than 1, so we are confirming that user must enter at least one value, and we are giving another condition. So that condition will be that user is not allowed to give more than 6 tags. So in order to check that, first of all we can give their tags.length, so we are getting the length of that tags array. If that is less than or equal to max tags, that is 6, if these two conditions they are true, at the time I want to call this create tag function, but you can see we haven't created that function. So let's create function create tag, and inside that function I'm using for of loop. I'm writing for tag of tags. So with the help of this for of loop, we are iterating each and every value of that tags array. And I'm writing let span tag is equal to backtick. So this symbol in your keyboard just above the tab button or next to that number 1, you can find it out. Now it's time to create that tags dynamically, so we don't need this span tags. Instead, let's cut this code and let's paste it there. So this user value that was manually given, so as you can see we have iterated each value of that tags array, and now instead of that user text you can give value of that tags array. Okay, so for that I'm writing $parenthesis, and inside that I'm writing tag, that is the variable. And also let's change that parameter of remove tags function. Let's give the same $parenthesis tag. We have created span tag. Now it's time to insert this HTML code. So for that I'm writing tag typer dot. So what you want to do is that just before the input field I want to insert this HTML code. Okay, so for that I'm writing dot insert adjacent HTML, and inside that method for the first parameter let's give before begin, and for the second parameter I want to pass that span tag variable. So with the help of this code all the tags they are dynamically generated. But you can see the tags value, these are the value that we have stored in the tags array. So now let's remove this all value. And now what you want to do is that when you type any value inside that input field, so that value should be stored inside that tags array. Okay, and also in order to prevent that user is typing like duplicate value at the time, we have to give there some condition. I'm adding extra condition. I'm writing and tags dot includes, and I'm passing that tag value variable, so the value that we have entered in the input field. So we are checking whether the value that we have entered, if that already exists in our tags array, but our condition should be that value mustn't be exist in our tags array. So I'm writing there exclamatory sign. So if these three conditions are met, then only that create tag function will execute, otherwise it won't be executed. Now it's time to add the value inside the tags array that you have entered in the input text field. So for that I'm writing tags dot push. With the help of this method we can push the value inside that tags array. So we are pushing the value that we have entered in the input field. So in the browser if I type user and if I hit the comma, did you see that tag is automatically generated? But what I want to do is that as soon as you create the tag, I want to remove value of that input text field that you have entered. So in order to do that, if I give tags value is equal to empty string, no, if I give tag typers dot value is equal to empty string, then we can achieve that. Okay, so once again if I type, did you see that the value that you have entered? As you can see, when I create other tags, the tags they are duplicating. Okay, so in order to prevent that, in the create tag function, if I give the same, if I copy this code and paste it there, so now with the help of this code we'll prevent the tags from duplicating. So in the browser you can see whenever I'm creating duplicate value, you won't be able to create that. And if you have noticed there, when I type comma, although it executes the code, the tags value is added with comma. So in order to prevent that comma from typing, we can give that tags value dot split. So if I split by comma, let's see it in the console. So I'm writing console.log tags. So if I write user and comma, okay, with the help of that split method, it will return array. So because of that, we are getting that nested array. So in order to prevent that, if I use rest operator, if I give 3 dots in the browser, once again if I type, did you see that? You are getting the array with 2 values, user and that empty string. So in order to prevent that storing value of empty string, we'll use once again filter method. Now with the help of this filter method, we can iterate the each and every value of that array. And I'm writing new tags, I'm giving arrow function, and I'm writing new tags. So we're giving this condition that shouldn't be equal to that empty string. Okay, once again with the help of this code, we are returning the new array, but this time we are returning only the value without the empty string. Now in the browser, if I type and add the tag, you can see in the console, now we are not storing that empty string inside our array. So this is exactly what I want. So now if I copy the value that is separated by comma and if I paste it there, at that time, once again there is another problem. It allows you to enter the duplicate value. So in order to prevent that problem, we can take the help of set. So now I'm writing tags that is equal to, and I'm giving array. Inside that, once again we are using that rest operator, triple dots, new set, and inside that set we are passing tags array. So with the help of this set, what we are going to do is that we are preventing the duplicate value that we have stored in the array, and we want to store that new array that contains only the unique value once again inside our tags array. Now we won't be able to add the duplicate value in our tags array. Okay, similarly, whenever you are creating the tags at that time inside the function create tags, once again let's call count tag function so that that counting number that would reflect in our browser. So did you see that whenever I'm adding the new tags, that number is reflected? And also now whenever you are copying or whenever you are removing tags, at that time I want that input text to be focused. Okay, so for that, for tag typer, I'm giving dot focus method. So with the help of this code, whenever you are doing any other operation on that, automatically that input text will be focused. So I'm creating different tags, and if I copy, okay, now and delete all these tags, and I'm adding extra new tags, and I'm pasting the tags that we have copied, and if I press enter, did you see that now we are able to add all those tags? But the condition was user mustn't be able to add more than 6 tags. But now whenever you are copying and pasting, at that time you are able to add more than 6 tags. This is a huge problem. Now in order to fix this problem, first of all, I'm declaring variable extra tags, and I'm assigning tags.length minus, so we are subtracting the maximum tags, and I'm using for loop. Let's give I as index, and I'm giving condition if I is less than that extra tags. Let's remove this code, and now instead of pushing the value inside the tags array, now we are removing the value of that tags array. So in order to do that, for the tags array, if I give dot pop method, now with the help of this code, we'll remove that extra tags that was added. Suppose you have added 10 tags, but our limitation is 6, so that makes the 4 extra tags. So now with the help of this code, we'll be able to remove all that 4 extra tags, okay, from that our tags array. So once again in the browser, now let's create 3 more tags. If I paste the value that is separated by comma, and if I hit enter, did you see that? Now you won't be able to create more than 6 tags. If you are adding more than 6 tags, last extra tags that you have given, they won't be added. But if you have noticed, like whenever you are removing the single tag, although the tags is removed from our HTML code, but the values that we have stored in the tag array, that is still there. So now whenever you are calling to the remove tag function, at the time for the tags array, let's give dot filter method. So once again we are filtering the values of that tags array. So at this time I'm writing tags. Let's give arrow function. If the is value of that tags array that is not equal to, let's pass that target tag argument. So that target tag argument, that was the value that we have passed when you click that cross icon of that tag. So now with the help of this code, we are returning the new array except the values that we have clicked. Now we need to store this new array inside our tags array. Now finally this is all done. I know it was really long, complicated video. I would say like it's worth it because we did learn lots of things. And also in the JavaScript code, let's leave some hints. Okay, so I'm giving the hints what kind of operation are these codes performing, so that after 1 month or after a year, if I look this code, it would be easier to figure out like what's going on. Okay, So that's all for today. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you did learn something, smash that like button. If you have any kind of queries, let me know in the comment box. Share this video if you think someone needs it. And also, if you haven't already hit that subscribe button and also the notification bell icon. Remember, there is always more to learn, so keep learning.